Do you also have this problem when you open up your wardrobe and you have millions of clothes, like tons of them? Some of them are different, some of them are literally identical, but you don't know how to style them. They basically do not fit each other. If you have this problem, hi, my name is Pixie Nitmirt, and we will talk about style systemization. So we will start with actually identifying the styles. I will help you with that. I'll have a list of questions actually in the video. And then we will look at how we can actually mix all of those really different styles. Because for me, you'll see in the video, they are freaking different. And we have to mix it somehow. And let's look how we can do that. Good luck. We're starting by taking our clothes and putting it on an empty space and take a screenshot of those questions. They will help you. You have to find what unifies your clothes. You'll have like certain patterns, certain styles. I will talk about mine so you have the idea. First is my Chinese style, as I study Chinese, of course. We can see a lot of non-fitted clothes with like kind of chunky big silhouettes. We can see embroidery and small, really small patterns, which is, I think, cute. And those are the traits you're looking at. Those are the unifying traits of this. Next is the Hobbit style. I'm a fan of Tolkien and his world, so I do have a lot of inspiration. And for those particular, also not fitted silhouettes, but let's look. Yes, exactly. We see velvet. It's the trait of this particular style. We see a lot of velvet. And I would say the clothes is a lot more structured compared to Chinese, which was also not fitted, but still. Actually, the biggest part of my wardrobe, you will see, this is everything colorful or with interesting card. It's an artsy, very like childlike even style, which I adore, and most of my pieces are actually in this style, and I'm showing you all of that, so we will look at how we can match all of that, because, well, styles are freaking different. You can see a lot of artsy pieces here, which I love and adore, and that's kind of about my favorite style. This style's name is brought up by my boyfriend, and yeah, this is the basics. We see a lot of grays and like blues in here. This is the basic, the muted one, the cold one, and with a lot more dark colors compared to the others. You might ask, why the hell do I need this information? Because we'll look at how we can mix and match all of that. Let's look at the chart actually. You can see that on this chart, even some pieces that I've shown you are kind of on a borderline of different style. That's what is important when styling different kind of styles. I don't know how to say it otherwise. You can see that some of the pieces are definitely like Hobbit core or Chinese core or just normal. But in between, we can see those flowy pieces in between different styles. So for example, these velvet skirt and velvet dress, they are going to fairy because of the cut and because of the color. They are more interesting and more vibrant and more permanent than the Hobbit style. Or the black skirt on your like lower right next to Chinese. Yes, it has Chinese patterns, and yes, it is more Chinese coded, but it is going to normal because of the cut, because the cut is a perfectly normal cut. Nobody would ever ask it except for the patterns. The patterns is what makes the fit interesting. And that's how you identify your clothes. You see in every piece the influence of another style. And we will look at that through the outfits. I will also comment on them so you will understand better what I'm talking about. The first one, simple shorts but interesting top. The top is from the mix of fairy and Chinese, and it brings the vibe in here. Compared to the second outfit, where shorts being on borderline between fairy and normal style, let's call it like that, create the interesting. So the top here, like the top, it's simple. You can't really see anything interesting in here, but the shorts here on the contrast are what's interesting. So the shorts kind of flow into fairy. The same is happening here. We can see a mix of different styles, the Hobbit top, underneath a Chinese shirt, and then just a plain skirt. And you would ask how doesn't it even match? But I think because of the colors, it just does. And without the suit, the style is actually quite simple because of the cut of the shirt. You can see that, yes, it is definitely a Chinese styled t-shirt, but because it's a t-shirt, it kind of tones down and eases everything. Yes, every girl needs a sword, I'm really sorry. This is my permanent Bilbo Baggins outfit, I would say. Yes, every time I wear this, I just feel like that. There you can see the difference. Here it's a simple t-shirt because of the simple jeans, and here you can see finally the difference. Or here, for example. Yes, this outfit is a lot easier because the skirt is easier than on the outfit before. It's a longer skirt, which doesn't bring too much attention, and underneath the suit you can see a perfectly plain top, which does not add anything to the style. That's why it's easier. This one I would like to talk about a bit more because it's an interesting mix, I would say. It's a mushroom style, I would say. I don't know how to name it. But the top comes from fairy plus hobbit, mostly hobbit. And the bottom comes from fairy and normal, something in between. And together they create this cohesive, really fairy coded, but like earthy fairy, not my bright one fairy. And it creates the mood. It creates a specific mood of this like almost hobbit but slightly more elevated style. This one is interesting. The top is a mix, I would say, between fairy and like hobbit and normal. It gives me Galadriel vibes, as I wrote, and the skirt from a Chinese style, it brings in the royal feeling. I don't know, it just feels really royal. I feel like a freaking queen in that. Though the colors are simple, the style should be simple also, but it has some elevated vibes because of the cut. So cut is important, you should always look at it. Now let's compare once again. The same top, Galadriel one, but with slightly more easier, more playful skirt. You see, it is definitely more fairy coded than the previous one, and it has some kind of, this easy vibe, this kind of playful. The color is indeed, though it's muted of course, but it's indeed more vibrant than the previous one. So it brings in some interest, and it has in general more interesting cut, and you see the switch of the mood. This one is interesting. Look at the bottom. It should be quite an easy bottom, like from a normal style, but once again, the cut is what makes the difference. Because of the cut, it's an interesting fit. And also the top, it's definitely, for me, a fairy coded. By the way, I'm not taking the names from the internet. Those are just how I call it, okay? They are not anything like from the internet, I'm sorry. And let's look at the switch of the mood. Here we have a definitely fairy coded pants. They are elevated because of the color, of course, and together it looks a lot more fairy-like. It looks more interesting, it looks more vibrant, and it's a completely different style. And though it's the same shirt, but the feeling is different, and that is the message of my video. You have to study your clothes as much as you can. When you divide everything into like styles, you do not actually create any kind of borders or any kind of, problems for yourself. You actually understand how each piece migrates into different kind of roots of your style. Let's call it that way. Let's call it roots, okay? Of course, you have some statement pieces, which are anything you have in your clothes. But then we have a lot in between, and those in-between pieces are what actually bringing all of that together. This is what creates the interesting vibe. The vibe of something, unusual, I would say. Because when you style so many different clothes, which should not fit together, it looks unusual, it looks cool, it looks unexpected. And in that video, you had the proof that you actually can do it. If you need a part 2 or like any kind of explanations, you can, leave a comment. I'm answering all of them and I'm looking through them. And if there will be a request for the second part, I'm doing it without any problems. I actually have a lot to say on that topic because, well, that's the thing I've been struggling with a long period of my life, and I want you to have an easier time with that. That was Pixie Knitmert, and thank you for your attention. I hope you liked this video, and goodbye!